Tonight, we report on a shooting in Lakeview and why Soap Lake banned marijuana collective gardens. What's happening in sports, Bob?
Well, Amber, the River Dogs in Southern Oregon go at it in World Series action, and the Mariners are trying to make playoff believers out of us all. Here's a quick peek at our Weather Center forecast.
Hello everyone, I'm Chaslyn Rodriguez. The red flag warning is in effect until 9 p.m. tonight, especially through the higher elevations and another system approaching our area. More details soon.
I'm Amber Jenks, and we have all this and much more on iFIBER 1 News.
From the iFIBER 1 HD studio here in the heart of the Columbia Basin, this is iFIBER 1 News. Your #1 source for local news, sports headlines, and our very own Weather Center forecast covering the entire Columbia Basin. This is iFIBER 1 News, and it starts now.
If you play your stereo too loud, yell, or whistle in Soap Lake, you now face a $259 fine. The Soap Lake City Council approved a noise ordinance on August 5th in a 6-1 vote. The ordinance allows fines of $259 for the first violation. The second violation within 12 months brings a $513 fine. A third violation means a $1,250 penalty. The ordinance lists yelling, shouting, hooting, or whistling as reasons to punish a resident for excessive noise. The ordinance applies between 10 p.m. and 7 a.m. Only the person occupying a home would be cited for the violation. City Planner Daryl Piercy said it would make renters responsible for the noise, not property owners. The Grant County Sheriff's Office is investigating a shooting Wednesday morning near Soap Lake that left one man injured. Reporter Joe Utter has the details.
4 people were questioned by police after a man was shot early Wednesday morning near Soap Lake. The victim, a 29-year-old Soap Lake man, called 911 after he suffered a gunshot wound to his thigh. According to the Grant County Sheriff's Office, he was taken to Columbia Basin Hospital in Ephrata and later transported to Confluence Health Central Washington Hospital in Wenatchee.
Deputies developed information that suspects or possible suspects were in a home at State Route 28 and Franklin Street that surrounded the home. They used a loudspeaker to call the subjects out of the home, and 4 subjects were detained after exiting the residence. They're now being questioned by detectives to find out what role they might have had in the shooting.
Nobody was arrested as of Wednesday afternoon. Deputies believe gang members were involved in the shooting. This is Joe Utter for iFIBER 1 News.
A Moses Lake man was injured in a collision on Interstate 90 about 12 miles west of Cle Elum. Benjamin Medina, a 41-year-old man, was driving a 2011 Peterbilt tanker truck east on I-90 early Tuesday morning, and he reportedly collided with the back of a 1990 Jeep Cherokee. According to the Washington State Patrol, Medina was taken to Kittitas Valley Health for his injuries. The driver of the Jeep, Erica Robinson, a 24-year-old Lake Stevens resident, was not hurt. The cause of the collision is under investigation. The State Patrol reported alcohol or drugs appear to be a factor. The Moses Lake Public Library is hosting its first Comic-Con event next week aimed at young comic book fans. Reporter Jeff Chu has the story.
Really good selection of stuff, and as you can see, it's very well loved.
The first Comic-Con, sponsored by Moses Lake Library, is coming to Civic Center Park on Thursday next to the library. The comic book convention, which is expected to draw young comic book and adult graphic novel fans, runs from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Comic-Con organizer Connie Bone, a part-time librarian who runs team programs at the library, is herself a big comic book and adult graphic novel fan.
Honestly, I'm a total comic book nerd, so when they mentioned this, I was right on the bandwagon as yes, we need to do this.
While teenagers are the target audience, Bone said older and younger comic book nerds are also welcomed. Bone said the event includes games, activities, graphic novel artists, and a comic book swap. Superhero costume contest is part of the fun. Participants can make their own comic books as well. A superhero camp is also on tap to learn how to fill that role. The free event ends with a showing of Guardians of the Galaxy at the Moses Lake Civic Center Theater at City Hall on Balsam Street. I'm Jeff Chu for iFIBER 1 News.
Now we take a look at people being sought by law enforcement.
This is Sheriff Tom Jones with the Grant County Sheriff's Office. Each of the people you see here have a warrant for their arrest. If you see any of these people, we ask you do not attempt to detain or apprehend them, but call us at 509-762-1160 or send us an email at crimetips@co.grant.wa.us. If the person is presenting a danger, call 911. With your help, we can bring these people to justice and make our community safer.
We'll be back right after this.
My name is Kat Sanderson, Managing Broker for Pillar Rock Realty Group. We love the Columbia Basin because it's our home, and we want to give back to our community by kicking off our Pay It Forward campaign. If you buy or list with us, we will donate 1% of our total proceeds to a local charity of your choice and in your name. Call us today at 754-4444 or visit pillarrockrealty.com because we are your local real estate experts.
Now for your iFIBER 1 News Weather Center forecast.
Hi everyone, I'm Chaselyn Rodriguez bringing you your local weather. This weather segment is brought to you by Barry Motors, one great place to buy and service a car. We will get a gradual decrease in temperatures by the end of the work week. However, there is a red flag warning in effect until 9 p.m. tonight. Those temperatures above the normal overnight, even into tomorrow, with isolated thunderstorms mainly over the mountain area. Some of these storms could produce wildfires. Now, on Thursday, a cold front will push through the area, bringing breezy and a cooler Friday into the weekend. We're expecting temperatures to be around the 80-degree mark, and those gusty winds, they could go as high as 30 miles per hour. In the meantime, let's take a look at the almanac within the past 24 hours. Maximum temperature is very close to that record high of 104 degrees, and that was in 1971. The low in the lower 80s, way above the normal, almost 20 degrees above the normal for this time of year. And for Moses Lake, breaking record 103 degrees, 101 in 1971, and the low in the mid 60s, again above the normal, around 10 degrees above the normal for this time of year, and that's sunsetting at 8:14 p.m. And right now, outside your door, hot temperatures over 100 degrees with sunny skies. That dew point in the mid 40s with those winds pushing through from the south-southeast up to 8 miles per hour. Coming through on Thursday, that cold front will push through, bringing breezy conditions. Those gusts could go as high as over 30 miles per hour. Precipitation is expected by Friday, especially through the higher elevations. Heavy rainfall may be possible, extending towards the east-northeast by this Saturday, bringing that threat of showers and thunderstorms. Drier conditions around our area with a decrease in temperatures. Towards the coastal area, those maximum temperatures ranging from the upper 60s to mid 70s, some cloud cover. However, we're expecting temperatures above the normal in the Yakima Valley, 102, with mostly clear skies, and towards the inland northwest, hot temperatures almost hitting that 100-degree mark. Now, towards our Columbia Basin, those temperatures remain above the normal for this time of year, over 100 degrees towards Royal City, as well as towards Ephrata, Moses Lake hitting that 100-degree mark, and towards Bridgeport 102. Let's take a look at the extended forecast for the week. Hot temperatures for tomorrow, then cooler by Friday into the weekend as that cold front shifts towards our area, bringing us a cooler air mass by Friday in the mid 80s, and then coming through for Saturday, clear skies with temperatures in the lower 80s, below the normal for this time of year, 87, and then back to the upper 80s by the beginning of the work week. We'll be right back with sports.
To save some energy, I've used Einstein's mass energy equivalents to design the haptic suits you see in front of you. They will maintain our core body temperature while we completely turn off our heat and air conditioning. With the money we save on our Grant PUD bill, I'll be expecting that trip to Disneyland this year.
You don't need to be a super genius to save energy and money. Visit grantpud.org to learn how.
The River Dogs claimed the National Division bracket in World Series play in Klamath Falls with a 9-0 shellacking of Southern Oregon. Goose Eggs dotted the scoreboard until Josh Kallstrom doubled in Tristan Parton and Cameron Walker to take a 2-0 lead in the top of the third. The boys from the Basin added one more in the inning and struck for 3 in the 4th to blow it wide open. The team tacked on 1 in the 5th and 2 in the 6th to complete the shutout. Kallstrom finished the day with 2 hits and 4 plate appearances and 4 RBI. Logan Moss gave up 4 hits over 5 innings of work to chalk up the W. Jerry Reyes tossed 2 innings of relief. The River Dogs moved to 3-0 and have a 1 game left to play with Cape Cod in pool play today. Anthony Alvarado gets the afternoon start. Win or lose, the Dogs have wrapped up their bracket and now advance to the semifinal round Friday evening. The team is 2 wins away from its 2nd World Series championship. The last time the River Dogs won it, 1998 in Klamath Falls. The Sounders announced their 4th pickup of the summer transfer window today with the signing of Panamanian defender Ramon El Toro Torres. Torres, you might recall, was the captain of the Panama national team that took home 2015 Gold Cup bronze. The 29-year-old sports a solid resume with 331 appearances and 32 goals in his 11 years on the pitch. Targeted allocation money was used to acquire Torres, and per MLS and club policy, additional terms of the deal are not being disclosed. It was another extra inning affair for the Mariners last night, taking on the Baltimore Orioles. Baltimore struck first, scoring 2 runs in the 1st inning. The M's then busted out the bats with 2 monster homers from Nelson Cruz and Mark Trumbo. Cruz's shot went deep to center field. It's his 34th of the season, leading the major leagues. Trumbo's jack was a 3-run shot to left center, giving the Mariners a 4-1 lead. M starter Taijuan Walker pitched well, going 6 innings, giving up 2 earned runs with 6 Ks. But the bullpen struggled again, giving up back-to-back homers to Adam Jones and Chris Davis, tying the game at 5-all. With the bases loaded and no out in the bottom of the 10th, M center fielder Austin Jackson played the role of hero. Jackson dropped a single down the right field line, scoring Logan Morrison for the walk-off win. Cruz's homer extended his hitting streak to 21 games. The last Mariner to hit 21 straight games was Ichiro back in 2009. He hit for a franchise record 29. The M's are 8 games back of the Astros with 38 left to play. Well, we'll be back after this commercial break.
For 12 years, Ephraitis hosted the best free music festival in Washington. This year was no exception with performers like Austin Jenks. And you're going to meet him and other headliners like Greg Raleigh, founding member of Santana and Journey. Welcome to iFIBER One's Inside Look at Basin Summer Sounds.
She says she talks to angels. They call her out by her name.
Our spotlight story tonight is about the new head librarian at the Soap Lake Library. Reporter Jeff Chu stopped by the library and has the story.
Bounce with the bunny. And strut with the duck. Can we walk this way? Strut with the duck. Oh, strut back. Gotta strut back. And spin with the chickens now. Cluck, cluck, cluck.
Carrie Ann Forbes is Soap Lake Library's new head librarian, and she loves reading to children. She talked about her 4 years of experience.
Volunteered in Kansas at a library that was an Army community library, and I did that for 2 years from 2008 to 2010, and then moved up here to Ephrata and was out of the library for a little while. Then I got back in as a substitute with the NCRL in Ephrata.
Forbes said she was attracted to libraries at a young age.
I had a great middle school librarian who wanted the students to be involved, so I helped in the library and just created an interest in me, and I've always loved reading. And then as I got older, I just remembered that experience and thought, why not? Let's go somewhere that I enjoy.
Forbes succeeds Aaron Leffelbein, who she worked with at the Ephrata Library before he was hired over her to lead the Soap Lake Library. When Leffelbein got the job as the head librarian in Ephrata, she reapplied for the Soap Lake job. Forbes is the lone full-time staffer at the Soap Lake Library, and she gets help from 3 part-time substitute librarians. Forbes discussed her plans for the library.
I'd really like to stay here for several years. I want to see this library grow. I'd love to see the adult programs grow. We've got several children's programs, and the children from the school come over and do their reading here and check out books. I'd love to see the adult program grow. I'd like to see some book clubs started for some adults, and more adult programming, speakers coming in to engage adults in good discussion.
Like other aging libraries, Soap Lakes needs new bookshelves, and Forbes hopes to replace them in the next 2 years. She sees future growth for the library as new readers move into the area.
And at some point, I think we'll outgrow this building. We'll have to expand, either expand the building or to a new space.
Soap Lake had about 2,500 books and other items checked out in June.
So there's growth in the community, and it's seen here in the library. I think the people of Soap Lake like to read. I think there's an intellectual component to the community here. There's people who want to be engaged in learning, and this is one avenue of doing that in a small town.
I'm Jeff Chu for iFIBER 1 News.
We'll be right back after this.
Quincy Foods, LLC, a subsidiary of Norpac Foods, is seeking motivated individuals to fill the positions of general laborer for their corn harvest season. They have full-time seasonal openings, must be 18 years old and older, willing to work swing shift. Great people to work for in a challenging food processing environment. Apply at 222 Columbia Way in Quincy between 8 and 5 p.m. Monday through Friday, or online through WorkSource. Quincy Foods is an equal opportunity employer.
Welcome back. A man was sentenced to 16 days in jail after leading police on a chase through the area of inland tarp and liner fire. Roger Prince, a 27-year-old Montana resident, pleaded guilty in Grant County Superior Court to attempting to elude a pursuing police vehicle. Judge John Antos sentenced Prince to 16 days in jail. The chase was on July 17th when Prince disregarded a Moses Lake police officer directing traffic during a fire at inland tarp and liner. He ran the stop sign and began driving on the median around the line of vehicles moving through the area. Washington State Patrol troopers spotted Prince driving about 25 to 30 miles per hour in the median and later reached speeds of 95 miles per hour. Police used spike strips to disable his vehicle near Silica Road. Collective gardens to grow marijuana for medical marijuana patients are banned in the city of Soap Lake. The Soap Lake City Council, in a 4-3 vote, approved an ordinance prohibiting establishment of collective gardens. The issue came before the council after City Attorney Catherine Kennison said the state would be shutting down such operations when new legislation banning collective gardens takes effect in 2016. City Planner Darrell Piercy said the city received some inquiries, but no applications for collective gardens. The council is expected to further consider and update its marijuana retail sales, growing and processing ordinance at a later date. 2 people allegedly chased a family outside of Quincy in a car and hit the family's vehicle. Prosecutors charged Michael Vreeman, an 18-year-old Quincy man, in Grant County Superior Court with assault and hit and run. The victims, a husband, wife, and 4 children, reported they were driving east on State Route 28 in an Acura when Vreeman turned onto the highway near Quincy in a Mitsubishi Eclipse. Vreeman reportedly pulled into a turning lane and let the Acura pass before speeding up and hitting the vehicle. The victims were stopped at an intersection when Vreeman pulled next to the SUV, and a 16-year-old passenger allegedly swung a baseball bat at the rear of their vehicle, breaking the rear taillight. The Eclipse reportedly left, but was found by police. Vreeman allegedly said he was driving the vehicle, but denied the incident, saying the damage to his car was more than a year old. In Northwest News, a man fired at a family, police, and homes in a shooting spree across Puyallup. It ended when he finally crashed and was captured. Cairo TV News has the story.
Well, I thought it was fireworks at first, and then I saw the gun.
Neighbors took cover as the shooter steadily fired shots at people and houses along 6th Avenue Southwest. He was looking for a getaway vehicle after killing a man as police flooded the neighborhood.
Distinctly heard one of the officers yell, "Ambush, ambush, get down." So at that point, then everything else unfolded.
The shooter saw a woman trying to close her garage.
He forced it up, then it kept going down because like an automatic door, and he forced it up again.
She just threw the key, said, "You can have the keys," and he took the keys and took
took her SUV.
Police say then the shooter smashed the white SUV through her garage door and drove toward the fairgrounds, firing back at officers chasing him.
Suddenly I heard rapid gunfire, bam, 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 and then silence, bam, 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 bam.
He smashed into several cars at 9th and Fairview and came to a stop.
Guy got out of the car. The police showed up. He turned and was firing shots at him.
That's when one officer fired on the suspect while another officer slammed him with a squad car, ending the pursuit.
Crazy. This is a good neighborhood, so I don't like it.
It's a beetle invasion in the Portland neighborhood of Selwood, and it's not a British rock and roll band either. The state released the bugs to fight an invasive weed, but people living there are now fighting off the beetles instead. For CNN, Laura Rios reports.
Yeah, they got one in my shoe. Let's see. There was one in my neck, probably some inside my backpack right now.
Over the past few days, it's been hard to escape the beetles in the Selwood neighborhood.
It's really irritating.
There's a lot of swatting going on, and a lot of this, too.
I have done a couple, yes, right.
They don't taste all that bad, though, really.
Thousands of small beetles are invading yards and flying through the air.
The beetle population has exploded here. Yeah. As you ride through them, they get in your ears, in your arm. I mean, they're just all over you. It's crazy. I've never seen this here.
The state released these leaf-eating beetles to fight an invasive weed in the Oaks Bottom Wildlife Refuge called purple loosestrife. They're only supposed to eat that plant. The state says this has never happened before, but this year, what they're calling a perfect storm happened. The beetle population exploded during a hotter and drier summer. The insects exhausted their food source and moved to the neighborhood looking for new food.
It's been pretty bad. We've kind of been held captive in our home.
Chris Heiberg doesn't want to go outside because of all the beetles. They're eating the plants in her yard and covering her doors and windows. She's hopeful the state can learn from this and make sure they don't have to go through this next summer.
And this is all about an invasive weed, but when it starts coming into the homes of people, into the efforts that you put into your yards and gardens and have them just trashed, parts of me says yes, they why didn't they know that? But on the other hand, I'm not a specialist, so I don't know.
That's going to do it for us here at iFIBER 1 News. We want to thank you for watching, and we'll see you again tomorrow.